Today's episode of Brokers Open Podcast is all about awareness and how you can make sure that everyone you know chooses you for their next transaction. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Brokers Open Podcast. I'm Dr. Ben Spears, the Doctor of Flow. I am here as usual with the big guy himself, Matt Vine. How's it going, Matt?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. I'm not going to say like.
Don't say it. Don't even say it.
What? All right, we'll leave it at that. I'm doing absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, he's doing great, guys. We're not going to talk about that one thing.
If you're a long-time listener, you know what he means.
Yeah, exactly. Really cool topic today, guys. Before we get started, make sure you check out the links in the description below. We got some really cool stuff for you. I'll talk about something that's really cool that we've added a little bit later in the episode. Let's get started. So, today's episode, right? If you're a newer agent, experienced agents, I got you. Just hold on.
Yep.
If you're a newer agent and you're like, man, I don't even know how to tell people I'm a real estate agent, or I don't know if the people that I even know I'm a real estate agent.
Yep.
Or if you're an experienced agent and you've generated leads, certain ways throughout your entire career, but maybe haven't folded those into what we call a sphere of influence. Maybe you have a lot of sphere of acquaintances, as Matt says sometimes. Then we're going to be talking about that as well. The major word and the overall theme of this episode is going to be based on awareness. So, Matt, let's just dive right into it.
Yep. Love it.
I'm an agent. I've got these people that I know, because everybody has that, whether you're new or experienced. I got these people that I know. Maybe they send me business. Maybe they don't send me business. Maybe they don't even know that I have my real estate license.
Right.
Where does a person even start when they're thinking building a sphere of influence inside of their
So I would start with the truth. Okay. So you said something funny just a second ago. You said experienced agents. Hold on a second. I got something for you. Here is some. So this episode's really important to experienced agents. We're going to talk about it from a framework that if you're not really paying attention, you would think that this is for new agents, right? Because I'm experienced. I've done a bunch of real estate transactions. Everybody knows me. No, they don't.
Yeah.
Right?
You see my signs.
That's right. They see my park bench, right? So, no, they just don't know you. So they know of you, and they're aware that they've done business with you before, or they're aware that you're in real estate. But if they don't know what you stand for, then you sound like everybody else that's in real estate. That's what we're talking about, is the awareness. Now, a new agent is like, oh my gosh, nobody knows yet, right? A newer agent, nobody knows yet, or not enough people know yet. Okay,
Yeah.
or I'm afraid to tell some people because I'm not sure how they'll respond. All right.
Yeah.
So the danger in both the experienced agent that's done a lot of business and the new agent is just being truthful with yourself about exactly where you're at.
Yeah.
And so how do you get to the bottom of that? There's a super simple way you get to the bottom of that. Go through the list of people that you know and just mark them in a B, or a C. A means they know you're in real estate. They know you're real good at it. They know what you stand for. They understand and appreciate your values. B is maybe they understand your values, or maybe they know you're in real estate, but they don't know both of those things.
Yeah.
And C is they know neither one of them.
Yeah. What's R?
We're really far down the list.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is you're taking a close look and you're just being honest with yourself. Hey, where am I at with my relationship with these people? Are they truly aware of who I am, what I do, how I can help?
Yeah. I like that a lot. And so, I remember when I first got my real estate license, right? Like, I was a chiropractor, right? Nobody down here knew I was a chiropractor. I moved from Kentucky to Florida. But at the same time, no one knew I was a chiropractor. No one knew I was anything to do with real estate. And it was very like, man, I don't know. Like, how do I get the word out? It didn't really feel like it helped a lot to go to my social media platform and be like, I'm a real estate agent. All my connections were in Kentucky.
Right.
Not saying I couldn't get referrals from out of state and that kind of thing.
Yep.
But at the same time, I was just like, I didn't really know what to do.
Right.
I eventually figured it out. The way that I figured it out was open houses. Eventually, did some paid leads and that kind of thing. And I just met people, and I was good to them and provided value, and the word got out that way.
Right.
but there wasn't really a very proactive way that I went about making sure that my sphere or anybody that I knew I was in real estate unless I was actually doing a transaction with them.
Right.
That's something that I look back and I kind of regret on, like, okay, there were some missed opportunities there. I did well that first year, but there's some missed opportunities in that first year of just some people that I met that I didn't do transactions with that I may not know to this day.
Right.
That I was in real estate. So could you share, okay, what's some proactive, like an action step, even if it's just one, of something that someone can do to say, hey, world, here I am. I'm a real estate agent, to have some sort of foundation to build upon.
Yeah.
To build upon that.
Yeah. So what I would start out with is understand who you are and one thing that you'd like for everybody to know about you. Now, whenever I say that, real estate agents are automatically going to think, well, I want everybody to know I'm in real estate.
Exactly. Exactly.
The answer is no on that. Yes, you absolutely want them to know that. But that is not the only thing you want them to know about you. And the reason why is a super simple reason. They already know real estate agents. They already know a bunch of them. If the one thing you wanted them to know about you was that you're just like everybody else, you're not going to stand out. So figure out what that one thing is that you want to make sure that everybody knows about you, and then start pushing that. Do you play music? Are you great at Are you great at playing the guitar? Can you sing? Have you been a chiropractor in the past? What is it that you would want everybody to know about you? And what is it that, from a value standpoint or from an integrity standpoint or from a principle standpoint, what is it that you'd like for everybody to know about you? That's how you're going to build awareness with an audience that is attracted to you as that person. Now, can you call people up and just tell all of them, hey, I'm in real estate now. Do you want to buy and sell a house? No. Do you know somebody who wants to buy and sell a house? No. I'll call you in 3 weeks. Absolutely, you can do that, right? 100% you can do that. And there's a lot of people that do exactly that. What ends up happening with that is you get tired of saying it, you get tired of begging, and people get tired of hearing it, and so you're constantly looking for a new list of people. You're constantly looking for a new group of people to do that with. And so what I'm begging you to do is to not do that type of reach out. Instead, have a conversation about something that is going to get people curious about you and get them aware of who you are. And then you can talk about what you do. Who you are is going to be what really builds that community. What you do is going to be how they spend money with you. Start with the first part, which is who you are.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And I'm going to come back to that in just a second. Now, on your previous thing that you were saying, you were like, take this. We got some A's, we got some B's, we got some C's.
Yep.
Being like an analytics guy and a numbers guy, if I've got this list, is there a percentage that I'm thinking, how many A, like, how do I know I've made it?
Right.
Right? Like, how many, I want all A's.
Yeah.
Right? That's, I've bred to want all A's forever.
Right.
How what do I want? Like, I'm going to have a list of 100 people. Mm-hmm. How many of those should I expect to be A's, B's, C's? I don't know, and I'm sure it's different for everybody. But
yeah.
I want to hear what you have to say about that.
Yeah. So look at it like this. So let's say that people that know you're in real estate and really like you, those people, if you stayed in touch with them and if you could have an honest conversation with them and say, hey, listen, I'm really trying to drive my business this year. Do me a huge favor. Do me a solid here. Anybody that you bump into, you just got to put them on a 3-way text with me to get them, to get me connected with them so that I can help them out with buying or selling a house. If you had 20 people that said that they would do that were excited about it, that didn't feel like they were just pushing people off on you, but that were truly excited about that, 20 people, and they did that 4 times a year. Once a quarter, they bumped into somebody that they could send your way, okay? 20 people times 4 times a year is 80 people. And let's say that only half of those actually turn into real leads. That's 40. And then half of those only turned into transactions and closed. That's 20 transactions a year on just those people.
Yeah.
That adds up really quickly if those are those A people. So the key is your C people you're trying to do one of 2 things with. You're either trying to get them out of your database or turn them into a B or an A. Your B people, you're either trying to get them from a B to an A, and your A people, you're trying to make sure that they stay an A, right? Now, this isn't what the A stands for, but the A people are really aware, is what it boils down to. They're aware of who you are, they're aware of what you are, they're aware of what you do, they're aware of how to help you, they're aware of so many things that have to do with you and your real estate business. Your B people, your job is to train them along the way to get them to that point of awareness like that A is. If you get those B people and you train them, pretty soon one of two things is going to happen. They're going to turn into a C and they're going to say, hey, I'm not sending business your way, or they're going to perform poorly and not send business your way, or they're going to turn into an A. Your job is to get them from a B to an A. Your C is to either get them out of your database because they're draining you, or to try to move them up to a B. So keeping that in mind, how many of those people do you need has a direct correlation, Dr. Ben, with how much money you want to make that year.
Yeah.
And so you take your average, your average sales price, or the average sales price of the sphere of influence that you have, or the average sales price of the office that you're in. You have your average sales price plus retained commission percentage per side. You take that, and then you figure out how your split factors into that, and it tells you how many transactions you need in order to make a certain amount of income. Then, in order to do that, with how many transactions, that means how many referrals or how many people that you need to deal with, and then just use that rule of 25% that we just talked about, right?
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. In a second, I'm going to ask you a question because, we've talked new agent, we've talked experienced agent. An experienced agent may have like a small team, like an admin or a buyer's agent,
Yep.
and those people on the team have A's, B's, and C's as well.
Yeah.
So I want to talk to you about that in just a second. But before we do, you made a good point, right? Like you started with your 20 A's, and then they gave you essentially 80 referrals, and then down to 40 who turned out to be good leads, and then 20 actually turned into transactions. Those 20 that turned into transactions, we could probably say let's cut those in half again, and say half of those should end up being A's.
Yep.
And so now we've gone from 20 A's to 30 A's, right? And that 30.
All right, so hang on. So that number is going to be higher than that.
Okay.
Do you know why that number? You've got a great point there, and you're on a great path. But I got to cut you off on something. That number is going to be higher. The reason why that number is going to be higher is because that's how they got to know you, and so they feel like that's what's supposed to happen.
Yeah,
So the A referred them to you, and as long as you handle that the right way, they're going to go, oh, this is how it goes with Matt's business. Because Betty Sue referred me to Matt, and now Matt did an incredible job and helped me out and did everything the way that I like. No wonder why Betty Sue referred him to me.
Yeah.
Now I need to refer Matt the same way. It's easier to get that person, especially out of that group of those 20 transactions, a higher percentage of those people to turn into A's quicker because they've already been through the mill, right?
Yeah.
And so this helps you make sure that you're getting more of those people. Because you're going to lose some of that 20 in year 2 and year 3 and all that kind of stuff. But at the same token,
they're going to move or something.
Yeah, right. But at the same token, if you're hitting your transactional goals, that number is growing bigger and bigger. And then that's why you need a team, is because you have all of those people coming in and that business is just churning and all that kind of stuff, right? So.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. So, it cut me off. My mom's listening, man. I'm joking.
You were saying if a certain number of the people moved from one section to the other, you get 10 of the 20.
Oh yeah, you finished my point exactly.
Okay.
Exactly what you're saying is exactly what I wanted to say, but you did it more eloquently, and it was just the number was different, right? Okay. Those people should become basically. I'm saying each year you grow exponentially. Your A's should grow from your A's, from your
Correct.
Original 20 A's.
Correct.
Right. My next question that I was going to ask was about the teams and knowing that, okay, my admin or my TC or whatever, they've got A, B's, and C's. My buyer's agent, they have A's, B's, and C's. Maybe as an agent or a team leader, and I'm not talking about someone who has like 100 agents.
Right.
Like that's different in my opinion. But if I'm a small team, then there still should be a way that I can manage those A's, right? Like the buyer specialists, their A's should still be connected with me in some form or fashion.
Right.
Same thing with my admin. How does someone take the ABC with a small team and then bring that into, okay, these people are part of my A's as well.
Yeah. First of all, collective goals for the team. Second of all, CRM. Don't make me start preaching on a CRM. Right. Okay. So the second component is a CRM, but the goals in having the CRM are going to create the expectations of what needs to happen. And that's what we need to make sure is going on, is we need to make sure that everybody that's on the team has a certain goal and expectation of what it is that they're trying to contribute to the team.
Yeah.
And so buyer's agent or listing coordinator or listing specialist, buyer specialist, whatever, all that kind of stuff, 100% as a team leader, you should be handing them a certain amount of your business. Okay. Now I've got an opinion on that. We're not going to get into it right now, but you should be handing them a certain amount of the business to be on the team.
Yeah.
You shouldn't just be there taking a percentage of what they make, regardless of how much you're helping them out. You should also be helping them create and learning how to create more opportunity for themselves, but also handing them other opportunity. Okay.
Yeah.
So as far as your staff, give your staff an expectation before you hire them and say, hey, listen, I'm going to hire you as my transaction coordinator. I'm going to hire you as my administrative assistant or my executive assistant or my marketing person or whatever. But here's part of what has to happen if you're going to be on my team. I want you to have at least 4 referrals that turn into transactions through the course of the year. So you bump into people, and when you bump into them, I want you to be so proud of us that you're telling them that we are the ones that they need to use for their real estate needs. You have to set that expectation.
Yeah.
If you're not setting that expectation, I would argue that maybe you don't believe in your team.
Yeah.
Because if you believed in your team, why would you dare let somebody that is a staff member accidentally refer to somebody else? Or are you thinking they should just know?
Right. Yeah.
You got to ask that question on the front end, in my opinion.
Yep.
And set the expectation.
Yeah, I like that a lot. So we've covered a lot of ground today, right? We've talked stuff for awareness, essentially for everybody knowing like the marketing stages are awareness, consideration, and decision. But we've talked a lot about awareness. We've done it from a new agent standpoint. We've done it from an experienced agent standpoint. Even brought it into a team leader there at the end. So I feel like this, we've covered a lot of ground, and provided a hint of value to all the listeners. But I want to provide even more. If you want more information about, number one, those 3 marketing phases from a prospecting standpoint and generating leads, and at the same time knowing that it's going to come from different perspectives that are definitely going to help you no matter where you are in the real estate business. We put together a little bit more information and some downloads. We did a 4-part series specifically on this.
Yep.
Just make sure you go to the link in the description below and click on that. You'll be able to get access to it. It's absolutely free, not selling you anything, and check that out. Matt.
Yep.
Anything else before I put a little bow on it?
It was the information that we put together was really good, not just because we were talking through the things that we were, but we also had some other people that were in an audience on some masterminds that were part of that, and they were in there contributing and talking about what they were trying to accomplish with their business and all that kind of stuff. So it's really good information all the way around.
Yep, guys, make sure you go check that out. Also, hit that subscribe button if you're watching us on YouTube. And don't forget the Brokers Open Podcast. What's up, Griff? Don't forget the Brokers Open Podcast, powered by Prime Real Estate Coaching. It's not just about opening the door to more opportunities. It's about closing more transactions.
Thanks, guys.